heading over to Stalba.
Up onto Stalba. So I'm curious here, does Aerowolf Limax once again land in Kameshki, or are they going to take this really, really early drop and go down to Sosnovka as is usual for them? Look, I'm pretty excited for this last game. It is the last day of the Super Weekend, Week 1. I know it's Friday right now, but you got to believe us, okay? You got to believe us. We're telling the truth. It looks like Aerowolf are going to drop out pretty early, as are Execute, which is interesting because these guys usually drop up towards Severny, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, actually, Georgia Pole, North Georgia Pole.
Oh, nice change. No one noticed.
I've remembered.
I don't think anyone noticed.
I used my big brain.
Fantastic. Fantastic. That's what we like to see. A lot of early drops actually coming out from some of these teams here. Aerowolf Limax heading down to Sosnovka. Futbolist, I imagine they're going to grab some cars, go over to Novo. Should be just fine for them. And then in the middle of the map, boys, it's going to be the Pachinki drop. We'll see who's going to win.
Yeah, I mean, we've had like a lot of contestation coming down in Pachinki. RQ trying to maintain control of it. I think then, so, you know, I want to see if they can hold on to this position because Loops have been challenging them here. Several other teams have been challenging them here. But let's talk quickly again about Nova XQF because I just want to make one thing very clear because they are currently in 8th place, right? Yes, there were a lot of expectations on board. I think it was okay in Week 1 for us to talk about the expectations and how they weren't living up to them. And I keep saying this, I think we just have to accept that right now, Nova XQF is a middling team. But they're consistently middling. So it's not like there's days when they're all the way to the bottom of the leaderboard, but there's also not those days where they're all the way to the top. I think this is fine going forward, and we just have to accept that as fact.
It's just how it is. You know?
Yeah, I tell it how it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Some people don't think it be like it is, but it do, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, we are going to be keeping track of where they do end up, because, of course, it is still Week 1, as we've noted before. Oh, dear. Abrupt Slayers. They've lost a player early.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you drop on Nova XQF King, who appears to be away from the rest of his team, very weirdly. Loops have also taken a little bit of damage. You can see Federal onto half HP there, trying to get away as fast as possible. Abrupt Slayers, this is a bad start. This is a bad start. Oh, it was actually Federal. Go on, then. Good lad.
Fair enough. Able to get that first knock there. That's obviously, as we were saying, the team's heading towards South Georgia Pole.
Yeah.
And he just went out that fight. Execute, they dropped north of the river as well, and they'll be heading to North Georgia, looks like, but they've stopped off in Cube as the circle pops.
It was really nice of Federal there to give, you know, Joker some head pats before he left the game. It was very cute, really.
Very considerate, really.
Very
just a bit of comfort there. It's like, I know you're dead. I know I shot you with very high velocity.
Here are 5 head pats. Goodbye.
Bits of lead, but you're a good guy. You're good lad, solid lad.
That's what I say. Anyway, Abrupt Slayers, again, this is the game that they need to get some points on board. Again, they're not making it into the second Super Weekend. When I was talking to Leon in his interview, which I'm sure we'll see at some point because it was a fantastic interview, he was saying that, look, we need to get some momentum on board. We need to play a little bit more aggressive. And now once they're down to 3, it is a whole lot harder to play aggressive in these games. I am slapping the desk. That is the kind of aggression that I want.
Hell yeah, absolutely. Just taking a look at some of these rotations as well, coming out from specifically one player. I'm looking at Fame Boys from Execute, actually dropped down by Quarry and is rotating all the way up towards North George to regroup with his team, actually unchallenged on the western coast. No one actually dropped out there despite the plane path being okay. Execute currently playing very split, but what they have managed to do is get a lot of vehicles on board. 4 total. Every single member has their own mode of transportation, their own escape method.
Really important, though, is that they have quickly identified an issue they had in the first game. D-Man so beautifully illustrated for as well over there on the desk couch setup dealio. And honestly, look, this time Execute have got all 4 vehicles on board and they can rotate a lot quicker. So they're patching up things as they go. I love to see that. It seems to be a thing that Execute have continued to do throughout their entirety of their season coming up to PMGC, all the way from PMCO. And PMPL, they had a little bit of difficulty where they were taking too many 1v1s. That got fixed. This time they're like, you know what, our rotate's a little bit too slow. Let's change that as well.
Tell you what's interesting to me on this map particularly is that the group around Milta is actually quite sparse here. Konina Power playing a 2-2 split right now.
Yeah.
2 of them in Milta, 2 of them all the way up north towards Shelter, just out to the west of it. And then Bigetron, they're playing their usual farm split, but there's no one in Milta Power. It's only Futbolist who are going to challenge there.
I wish that I was a sorcerer because I would magic up the map from earlier today and show it, just because that map was so sparse in terms of like areas on the map that just weren't taken up. We saw Ferry Pier, Primos, Quarry, no one had taken that side. Over on Gatka was pretty sparse as well. Oh my god, I have a sorcerer himself in John who's got a little picture here. Very nice.
Yeah.
You know, you do have Saverni, just one player. Don't unzoom it.
I was just checking it was the right map.
Okay, fine. Sosnovka, pretty much no one was down there for quite a while until Futbolists made their way down on the Eastern Bridge, but it was just this, like, very much across the middle.
Alpha 7 spiking out towards Konina Power, and Konina Power like, okay, you know what, fair enough. You guys have that compound. It's okay. We're not going to challenge it. We're just going to walk away. But you're right, I mean, there was a lot of that area of the map that wasn't challenged before. It was a northern plane path, so this has now changed to be a little bit better spread in terms of where the teams have gone.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, though, but even though it was a northern path last time around, it was Power 888 who actually went down to Milta Power earlier today. And now, this time around, they're up in Stalba. Aerowolf Limax going completely topsy-turvy as well. Were towards Stalba, towards Kameshki, and now they've gone down south towards Sosnovka.
I think that Sosnovka obviously being their general spot where they tend to land. With that kind of plane path, it would be folly not to drop out immediately and go down to where you're used to dropping. But it's nice to see that quickly a lot more of the space around the map has been taken up by these teams. Konina Power, I would love to see a little bit more out of them just in this match. I mean, not because they're playing particularly badly, but because I know that they're playing well. I want to see them forward that momentum into this game, get some good kills on board. They've been a little bit unlucky before, but right now they have a generally center spot. But they will be coming into contact with Alpha 7 very soonish.
This position for Aerowolf Limax is so sticky, Blank. There's 2 teams right in front of them, Bigetron and Konina Power, the duo from Konina Power, so it's not the full squad, but you've got Futbolist who are going to be looking to crunch in behind them. They're going to be trapped on this bridge, and it is not going to be pretty.
No, and this is the type of bridge where it's actually pretty hard to gatekeep too, because it is so easy. As you come out of the bridge on the other side, there are ridge sides either on your right and your left. So depending on where players are, you can isolate teams very easy. Isolate players if you're a team that's crossing just by veering off the side of the road. So yeah, a little bit difficult here, and it looks like Konina Power are just getting ready to leave, go up to where the rest of their team are. You see Black White already moving out. This is a team with 4 vehicles, but they need to start moving soon because, like you're saying, all of these teams are starting to, you know, come together right now, like have a little meeting right in the middle of the map, which is absolutely fine. It's going to be a bit of a loud meeting, and speaking will be done with guns.
Don't think that's generally how negotiations should go, but this is PUBG Mobile, Blank. This isn't, you know, this isn't business. This isn't diplomacy.
Oh, there's some.
It's all out warfare.
Serious war dogs here.
Absolutely. Ready to take the fight. As I said, hot lead going either way, back and forth, trying to land those shots. And at the moment, Mad Toy catching a bit of it himself. The Abrupt Slayer sending some his way. Right in the middle. I don't expect too much to come from this. This is just out towards Ruins at the top side of Headshot Hills.
Yeah. Good stuff from Mad Toy there, actually taking out the vehicle's wheels, which is going to make it really hard for Abrupt Slayers to actually make it into the circle. You see the area right in front of them going into the circle where Team Secret currently holding is just complete flat land.
But they're still out in the blue. It is the first zone, however, so maybe waiting for a little bit later on. On the opposite side, though, again, it's Loops. They actually dropped out and went south, George, around that sort of area of the map, and you can see right now they are in the middle. They immediately send in, and that's exactly what got them so many points before. Klas Digital Athletics, a similar patient strategy.
Yeah, I know, you're like pointing at Execute, and I'm just looking down here at Digital Athletics, who are like literally in Quarry. I'm like, okay, guys. And only one of them has a vehicle so far, by the way. Yeah, Abrupt Slayers, I think this is pretty much the run over. They're like, how do you get out of this? Team Secret have effectively beached them out here by getting rid of a lot of the vehicles. I think they have one left with a knock there, and players like Rex and U-High holding this down. It's going to be very, very hard. They're actually moving up now,
that's so mean. Are they sending? They're going into the blue.
Yeah, like I said, they're playing aggressive there. I love it. I love it so much.
They are diving in, trying to get the off angle into the U as the rest of the Abrupt Slayers all pile, and At the moment, it looks like we've got 3 players there standing all in that same vehicle. Mad Toy spotted it though. Is he going to be able to land some damage? No, not quite. Over the hill line and through the woods. To grandmother's house they go, try and get some hot cookies on there to make themselves feel better, but really going to be difficult after that edge guard.
Yeah. Abrupt Slayer's feeling a little bit like Little Red Riding Hood there, just running away as fast as he can, away from the Wolves and Team Secret. Gonzo taking some shots over towards Nova SUF. King making it look easy as he just glides across the landscape.
Slides it in home behind the rock, but Black-White not so lucky. Does go down to a long-range shot. We're on board with Paraboy right now, and I'm looking to see.
Now we're not.
Looking to see what he can get done. Obviously, this guy was absolutely insane throughout most of the tournaments we've seen him in, but it's just in general the same story as Nova XQF right now. They aren't stepping up to the plate that we'd laid out for them, right?
Yeah.
They have done very well for a team, but they haven't had that sort of prestige that we were looking for.
Pretty struggle bus of a circle here, to be honest with you, with Stalber still being in like a lot of the area towards the north side of the map is just not being used. There's about 20% of the circle in the water at the moment. You've got the fields of Yasnaya, which are taking up a large clump of the circle in the center here. This is a very difficult position to play, John. I'm not going to lie to you. We're going to see teams dropping very, very soon, I would imagine.
And not only that, it's a very head-to-head map, right? Because you've got one of the very few rotational paths out on the western side. A lot of teams like to swing out and try and go around a lot of these circles. That is cut off by this river, by this lake that is a massive feature of the northern side of Erangel, which means that you're going to just get this pneumatic piston of a match that's just crunching together.
Yeah.
We might be able to, film a couple of these things and set up a YouTube channel.
I know, right? It might do fairly well as well. Yeah. See, the rotation I'm currently looking at, just to describe this for you guys, is Digital Athletics, who had to move all the way around Ruins, and now they're making their way over the northern side. You can't see an RRQ rotation where you go for that wide swing anymore. I mean, they're in purple, they're rocking the purple mood type of play style all the way from back in Malaysia. But honestly, this just kind of prevents it. As you come up on the west side, you're completely right, John.
Revenge,
please.
not quite catching the roll out from Team Secret. Rex gets away from it, but he still has to get over the hill. Shots up top as well. Takes a tickle of damage, but as Rex under fire, trying to serpentine his way around and gets behind the wall. Nicely done, and Abrupt Slayers, they can't catch a break.
Nope, and Mad Toy once again on it. That is a really nice couple of sprays. Next one comes through, goes off to the north side. Execute was biding their time because they had the Mustache Dave crystal ball in hand. They knew exactly where the circle was going to go. They predicted that like Mystic Dave.
Alex bats out of hell, loops immediately on the vehicles. They send Central yet again. These guys, they know how to play these circles, and for some reason they know the entire lay of the land around them as well. Futbolist taking heavy casualties. Raum falls down, and now it's Road Warriors. 2 knocks finally found as there goes the kill. Hang on a minute, did they jump out, knock themselves? That is really unfortunate. 1 player now standing for the Abrupt Slayers.
It's rough. I mean, in that situation, you jump out the car before it explodes. You take the knock rather than just insta-dying, right?
That is true. That is true. Seeing what they can find, but in comes you high and runs one down, looks for a little bit more, sprays around the edge, finds one, and that's the rest of the damage as well. Nicely found, but Mad Toy on the sidelines actually getting peppered by RRQ, who have started to come pretty close to this. Actually, I take that back. They are over towards the river, so a little bit a ways away. Currently dueling with Alpha 7 on this rotate, but everybody's moving around Stalber now. Yeah,
they're trying to get in as fast as possible. Execute taking predatory position right on the top of the mountain itself. Aerowolf Limax heading up towards Kameshki. They know this zone. This is their secondary drop spot. Nova XUF coming in from the eastern side, and once again, it is BTR biding their time, trying to get as many points on as possible. They have been the silent killers within all these circles today.
Center of the circle, as I said before, it's loops. They were just immediately on the ball. It's what we praise them for. It's what Lee talked about being the difference between 4 and, 16-point game in that first entry today. A really, really strong stuff from them. You can see they're currently in 4th place overall at the moment, and Alpha 7 in 6th. And remember, we were tracking those missions, Blank, so they're going to be happy to continue on trucking, to keep on opening up that gap. Currently, Alpha 7 with a 10-point lead over Konina Power, who are looking to break in that top 6. Limax as well.
Yeah, Alphas have been having some great games today, but Zute and co rock up on top of Futbolist, so we're having a repeat of the map on Sandhawk, where it's the fight for the hill. Fame boys from underneath, just hiding behind the vehicles, but already a knocks come through onto Solke. Nades are just being tossed over the top. Smokes to try and provide a little bit of cover. Kill switch also down on the floor. Look at all these smokes coming through. It's bare land, and they're trying to make this happen as best as possible.
They're just backing up. They are giving ground. They're not getting pressured by the circle just yet. It will pop pretty soon, though, Blank, and
Lutes.
They'll have to figure out how they want to get it done. Up the top of the hill, though. What's that? Is it a monster?
No, it's Fame boys. He's getting up there as fast as possible, but he is monstrous himself. Lutes forcing his way down. This is really good from Execute. They realize they have the high ground advantage, so they're just slowly backing up a little bit more. Power 888, though, they found a fantastic position here, which is going to create a lot of problems for Execute, unless Zute hits the turnaround.
Nicely done there to find the shots, and actually that's an isolated player for Power 888. That's going to go down pretty quickly. Now, can Ice capitalize on that and try and trade off a kill here? Because Corpy left in the open is pretty much guaranteed to go down, and in come the shots from the rest of the squad now. Corpy does fall, and they haven't traded it off just yet. A nice pickup there, but Ice out in the open. It's Fate has spotted him now, but gets spotted himself. Gets rattled down by the AKM at close range. Kill switch now. Takes up the mantle. But isn't going to find the shot just yet. This is going to give them time, though, for its Fate to crawl back. Hang on a minute. Zute's gone down. Oh, okay, hang on a minute. Now coming into the fray at the back, it's the 4 Angry Men. Trying to find out everybody on these side of the hills.
And now Power 888 moving up on the side here. Kill switch, desperate in this position. Tries to move out with a buggy. Able to hit the evasive maneuvers here and jump out of that fight. Nitro on board.
Disengaging now. Power 888 getting usurped to the top of the hill. And it actually stops to hit the deck. Try and survive a little bit longer, but Lovazin's going down in the meantime as well for Futbolist. And you've got Nova XQF coming in the back as well here.
That's a nice nade.
Trying to push on through. They'll have to get to the next zone. Nades start to fly again as we enter yet another nade phase. The bombardment coming through as Nova XQF start to mount.
RQ able to sneak into the circle on the western side. Aerowolf Limax here trying to make this last game count. They have a nice position on the northwest, but it's still these fights that are mounting on top of the mountain itself.
Futbolist getting pressured so heavily right now. They've got 3 players alive as they do manage to get a res onto 1, so only 1 downed player, but there's some damage sneaking under the UAS. Svan has that SLR, and he's just going to keep that pressure up, finding Lovazin, and that's a kill. Lutz low as well.
Svan showing us some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, showing them how to play from the ground itself. Great stuff from him. Luce is forced to run away from this fight. Execute able to get a bit further in as Power 888 gives up that fight themselves to try and find a position within the circle. Futbolist forced back towards Execute. They're like, actually, we would rather take a fight with Execute than 4AM right now. Thank you very much.
And throughout all of this, Bigetron have managed to swing in the south side of the Salva Mountain, and they are going to take that spot and make it their own, dominating this area of the map. Execute will have to push through them to get to this next circle to have a chance of moving on forwards. Team Secret eliminated.
Bigetron takes them out, nicely done, and now Execute is dropping on top of them. Hasaki from 4AM taking shots onto that side. So many teams in this area, John. What a battlefield this is.
Alpha 7 on the southwestern side, they've taken heavy punishment as well, only down to Law standing, but Bigetron continued to clash with 4 Angry Men on the hillside. Sook has gone down, make that 2 as Shinhei is soon to follow. Very, very pressured on this forwards position. Svan trying to build it up as Hasaki popped to smoke to keep his position safe for now. Ryzen, though, hits the deck, gets the first aid, and more healing soon to come.
First aid kit coming through, but they are outside in the blue right now, and with this being zone 4, it's going to start to hurt a little bit. Trying to pick up the players, trying to pick up the pieces, but they're all over the place, and Bigetron are not giving Svan any chance to do it.
No quarter being given out in the blue, as you say. The nades keep the pressure up, and that might just be the end of Svan. There he goes. Takes a tumble, and Hasaki now last player standing for 4 Angry Men. Ryzen right on the blue. He's ready to go. He actually pushes out, spots ahead, and takes it clean off Ryzen with a final flush onto 4 Angry Men.
It's just too easy for Bigetron. Remember, 4AM is a team that's closest in terms of skill power, in my opinion, to Bigetron at the moment. Up here at the top as well, Bigetron, RQ, Athena, 4 Angry Men. These are the top dogs to look at the moment. RQ trying to make their way into the circle as it centers up just on the side of the mountain. This is a really cool finish, John.
Alpha 7 did just get eliminated, which is the chance for Konina Power to try and push for that 6th position on the tables. There was a 10-point difference at the start of the game. We'll see if that America Super Mission can get completed. Solke, last player standing for the squad, takes one down, goes for the fight with Kill Switch. He makes it happen. It's Solke. What you gonna do?
Madness coming out from this guy. Futbolist. Damn. Solke is just an incredible player from this team.
Insane. Nutty. Perfection in the gunplay there at the top of Stauber Hill, but he's not in the next circle and has 2 teams to push through. And blank, they are not easy teams to get down. Here is Power 888 and Bigetron guarding him.
We talked about Power 888 very early in the day today. I was saying how, you know, like Power 888 is not a team that I'm super familiar with. I'm used to a lot of the names here that I can talk about and be like, you know, these guys have been long-standing in the scene. Power 888 kind of came out of nowhere for me, and they've been performing massively. They are a team that I will remember.
Nova XQF dueling it out right now with Secret Jin on the northwestern side. You've got RRQ who are going to chime into this fight. The Blue Bees and Konina Power fighting on the south side right now, but we're on board with Loops. They're isolated in a position in the southeastern edge of the circle. They can continue to move forwards, try and use this ridgeline, but Bigetron are contesting for it as well. There's a fight in the northwest that is really starting to pop off though, and RRQ trying to push onto Nova XQF right now. Paraboy falls. King has been downed. G9 very, very low, but still standing. Ernie nades over the top, and the 2 players from Nova XQF isolated from Order 6 will not get back up, and Order hailing out in that smoke. Futbolist do get eliminated on the northeastern side, but now it's the northwest for RRQ. They own this area, trying to push in past Secret Gen.
Beautiful stuff coming out from RRQ. This is the team that has been chasing Bigetron throughout the ages, and they continue to do it here. They are just a little bit behind. Currently in the standings of Super Weekend Week 1, they are 147 to 163 in terms of Bigetron. Now you can see Bigetron trying to take position in the middle. Konina Power having a bad time, but Bluebees hitting some nice shots.
Nutty stuff onto Zuxi. That's actually going to be him going down behind the rock. Low HP, but I think his twin's going to see him safe for now. All 4 of them are still standing blank, and there's only one other team with all 4, sorry, 2 other teams with all 4 players. It's RRQ and Blue Bees right now. South side for Blue Bees, west side for RRQ. They are at opposing cardinal directions.
Blue Bees taking shots onto Loops. Bigetron giving Blue Bees a little bit of a hand here. They have to help take down another team that's downside the hill. This circle today in our angle has been so unfriendly. Don't ask to borrow anything from this swing because it's definitely not going to give it you.
Cup of sugar.
Lufa, what a shot up the hill.
Cup of sugar, make that one sweeter. Unfortunately, not lending it out. It's the Blue Bees landing the shot to rise. And Microboy down behind the hill. Microboy and Luxy now, the last 2. Luxy taking a forward position, giving them a spot in the next circle, but Power 888 trying to encroach on that ground with Microboy falling down. He's the last standing for the squad. They'll have to try and push on in. Loops still have a Lone Ranger as well. In Federal, looking to try and swing out wide, but has been spotted from down the hill. That's the Blue Bees with the beat on his position. Not going to be able to land the shots, however.
This will be a really nice game for Blue Bees if they try and take the chicken dinner here, but Cosmos comes off the top side. Digital Athletics very close to this. RQ have been under fire this whole time. 2 players now down. Again, going back to Blue Bees, this would be a nice game for them. Currently, they started this game in 14th. They can try and ladder up, get some more points on board to push into that Super Weekends going forward.
With Konina Power going down with only 1 point and Alpha 7 with only 1 point as well, that gap will continue to exist. Nova XQF won't be able to catch up that gap as well, so I'm pretty confident in saying if you're an America's player, you're looking pretty good for that super mission, Blank, and hopefully going to be getting those rewards on board, unlocked. Nice stuff, but 6 teams remain.
RQ Athena currently leading in kill points with 7, 932 damage done, but it's Secret Jin. These guys did 1,454 with still 1 player left in the circle. And you know when you see Team Secret Jin with 1 player, they tend to do pretty well. They tend to get towards the top of the standings.
See how much further they can go. 1 player for Secret Jin, as you say.
No
1
way.
player for Bigetron remaining. Oh, nades over the top. Luxy, you absolute monster. Playing spoiler there, Ice rocks up and they know where he is. It's a 1 versus 1 in this isolated fight, but the Blue Bees already are waiting to take the rest of this fight. If anyone shoots a gun right now, Blue Bees pop up and immediately take the head off.
Just hilarious.
Oh, come
stuff.
off it.
Yeah, just hilarious stuff coming from Luxy. Yes, sure, there were some nade changes, but you don't change the player. This guy is still just as good as before.
Klas Digital Athletics on the southwestern edge right now. As Bigetron get eliminated, that's what I said. As soon as you make some noise, Blue Bees take you down. RRQ with 2 players alive. It is only now the Blue Bees with all 4 left standing. Klas Digital Athletics fight out from the ridgeline, however. One of those RRQ players go down. Just Beer 11 standing. GZ still trying to hold his own in these final circles. 4 teams remain.
Let's take a quick step back just for a second, John, because Blue Bees, what a fantastic spot they've got for themselves already on the top of the mountain. They've done this so many times before in a wrangle where they really know where the best spot to play is. But Beer 11 in the smoke, Silas must have seen him. That's the flush, that's the finish. RQ now outclassed it up to 6 kills, 3 players remain. It will be an incredible job if they can get this done. But once again, that's GZ with Team Secret Jin. That's a top 3 finish right there, baby.
Nicely done, and 4 kills as well. That is a great performance coming out for the squad, but the Blue Bees looking to try and catapult themselves towards those top spots. Top gamers indeed. We'll see what they're looking for here. 4 players alive, 6 kills, and Klas Digital Athletics really just trying to get any advantage they can. And in fact, they've managed to get 1 player in the circle down south side of it. GZ will have to snake on forwards, but behind that position from Blue Bees, it's going to be difficult to spot it out. Soulless falls, Selim spotted as well. Lufa trying to dodge around the bullets, but it's not going to work for him. Nade bobbles over the top, not quite finishing the job, but Lufa down means that Blue Bees need to think about how they approach this.
Yeah, Silas still up. I want Blue Bees to calm it down a little bit. They have the hillside. Nades still been thrown in. They're trying to keep up that pressure. We know that they like to do this. Lufa, arguably the best player on the team here, trying to crawl back across, get back up, but GZ, he is in the wings, John.
I wonder how many meds he has right now, because he hasn't popped those stims just yet and isn't back up to full health for now. You see, he's only got 9 bandages, has been spotted out. That will be the end of the run. Now we are in pitched warfare, blank 3 versus 4. Both teams with a position in this circle as well. It's all to play for, but Solus goes down first. Looking for the off angle. Silas gets down as well. They trade only 1 back, and it's going to be Aita-chan who takes the knee. No way they're getting that res out in the open. Selim and Solus, the last bastion of hope here for Klas Digital Athletics to try and take the chicken dinner. They've had a phenomenal game nonetheless. 7 kills found already as we take a little breather.
Blue Bees taking no chances. We are finishing this with 4 Suksu with the big guns on board.
Oh dear, he's pulling them out here. M249 suppression. The DP as well from up the hill.
The orb.
Is that the orb as well? It's the double crate warrior right now. Suxy on the off angle. Looking to try and push through. Selim heals it out. Looks for a fight up the hill. Finds it with Lufa. Goes for the 1 versus 1, but takes the 2v1. And that's so many bullets headed your way. That 5.56 will not stop. The rock cannot be